I am so happy to be back here today. It feels like a lifetime. Welcome back to Returns on Resilience, the official podcast of the Women's Entrepreneurship Initiative, empowered by Invest Atlanta. Today, I'm so excited to be here with one of our WE board members, co-founder and CEO of Myavana, Candace Mitchell. Thank you so much for being here. We have the joy of talking about something that's so relevant to, I think, every entrepreneur and probably people in general, the art of the pivot.
Yes.
This episode 4, is called The Pivot Playbook, and I think that you are probably one of the most perfect people to talk about.
Been through a lot of them.
Yes. So I know a little bit about your story, but go ahead and tell our audience a little bit about you, how you got into entrepreneurship, and then we'll dive into pivoting and when it's necessary and how you make decisions around pivoting.
Yes. Wow. Well, we've been in business for 13 years. So I started out as an entrepreneur in college when I was going natural, trying to find the right products for my hair. And as a Georgia Tech student, it was an amazing environment to really learn how to build your own ideas. And I entered the Inventure Prize competition with a prototype called Hair Tech. And it was my software that could analyze your hair and tell you which products are best for you to use.
Nice.
So that became my love as a computer scientist, blending the worlds of beauty and technology.
Nice.
And I didn't realize that I was really at the forefront of our market at the time because the whole model of personalization is what became now Hair AI, which is the technology that Myavana brings to market. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, our hair is a whole thing.
Yes, it is.
Before I ask you questions about the journey relating to how you decide to pivot, how did you make the decision even to take this idea coming out of Georgia Tech? You're a computer scientist, you developed this software, just talk to us a little bit about the decision making from I have this idea to I can do it to I'm an entrepreneur.
Yeah, it is, it's an adventure, or at least you can look at it that way. If you don't look at it that way, then it just feels like incredibly hectic and like, what am I doing? But the process, I will say, is probably 3 very specific phases. One, when you identify the problem that you're so passionate about solving that nothing else matters.
Passion. Mm-hmm.
Yes, you have to. I mean, if you don't love it like 24/7 and can't see yourself doing anything else, then why pursue it? Because entrepreneurship is just tough on its own. But once you have the passion to solve the problem, then you step out and go do it. So I did that by joining a startup accelerator program. It was called Flashpoint at the time. First one based at Georgia Tech.
Nice.
Now there's CreateX. Of course, we know ATDC is an amazing incubator. But that accelerator, I felt, was so dynamic in helping entrepreneurs really understand what is the authentic demand that you're solving
That's
for
so
in
important.
the market. Yes.
Because even you can have a problem, you can identify a problem, you can have a solution, you can have the passion, and the demand still might not be there. The market may not be ready.
Exactly. And I'm going to tell you, this is the most important thing to understand. If the demand is not there in your market, you are going to be bumping your head against the wall for a long time. And you're going to think it's you, but it's not you. It's the market. I had to really understand that market timing is everything. It's everything. So please study your market and understand what era are you in for your market.
So you mentioned something earlier about being at the forefront of your industry. So what year did you start? What was that like being at the forefront? And then start to guide us into, once you're on a path, and then realizing this is not the right path and it's time to pivot. Kind of walk us through that journey.
Oh my gosh, yes. So I started in 2012, which was like kind of the beginning of the Atlanta tech ecosystem. A lot of us were just starting out at that time, but the tech landscape as a whole was really at the beginning of really kind of supporting, especially entrepreneurs of color and women entrepreneurs, and really getting into the game, because of course you need capital, to really get started, to scale, appropriately. And at that time, it was the beginning of the natural hair movement as well. And so there was two very interesting dynamics on the beauty side and the technology side. And our first product was actually a hair analysis kit. Where, after talking to 1,000 women about their hair one-on-one, it was clear that every person had their own unique hair challenges.
Yes.
Okay, so
me and my hair go to battle.
Exactly, and we all do, and it's different for everyone. And that was the most fascinating thing, as well as the parallel between your hair and your life. So you can look at your hairstyle and know what was going on in your life at the time, what phase you were in.
Absolutely.
So I'm like, okay, wow, this is so amazing. And so the thing about it was, how do you solve for personalization at scale? That was very hard to do at that time. So we were literally analyzing hair strands one by one, like one customer at a time.
Wow.
And, that's all I knew how to do at the time. And so, after a while, when I couldn't raise funding, one of our investors encouraged me to just focus on customer acquisition. So that's what I did, just kept getting orders. Luckily, one day I got a call from a producer at The Real, the talk show.
Oh.
And they invited us on the show, and we had a girl-powered segment, and that blew us up overnight.
Nice.
So we had that moment. Our website crashed. The orders came in.
Wow.
And it was a wild moment. My co-founder actually transitioned on that same day.
Wow.
So it was just
me.
Oh my God. So I'm like, okay. So I keep going. But when I realized it wasn't working was when I couldn't process all the hair strand kits fast enough. Like, the orders kept piling up and there was no way that I could do it myself, meaning that I had a solution, but it was not scalable. Okay. So scalability is one of the most important things to solve for from the beginning. And I didn't really have a plan for that because, at that time they basically said, go out and get customers, right? Go out and get funding. And you're like, okay, so I did that. And now what? Meaning, I'm a first-time entrepreneur, so I'm just, being real. But the best thing you can do, again, going back to business model canvas, because it's still tried and true.
Yes.
It's tried and true. Think about the whole model at scale.
Yes.
So don't think about your first customer. Think about your first 1,000 customers, then 10,000, then 100,000.
I like that because I think you make a really good point, like referencing the business model canvas, because we receive a lot of different advice and tips about what's the best way to do it. And, I'm of the same mindset as you coming through accelerators, where it's like, okay, you got to get customers first.
Yeah.
And I think that's a part of pivoting, really, being flexible. It's like the agility of thinking about scale at the start, but then also knowing that what you think scale might be when you begin may not turn out that way, but at least you have some type of plan and direction that you're going in. I think sometimes entrepreneurs are told, well, you can't worry about that right now because you don't know, right. And there is a lot of I don't know in the beginning, but you still have to have, some type of kind of North Star of how it's going to work. Otherwise, to your point, by the time you get there, it's too late. It's like this just in time. You have to have. So you kind of talked about your journey as having, the passion, the problem, the solution, and then how you took that and you accessed resources through the accelerator in order to start to build the model, and then having the understanding that had you thought a little bit more on the front end about the scale, maybe some of the challenges that you went through wouldn't have been like, as hard or whatever.
Yes.
But you live and you learn, which is my next question for you. So people talk about their gut feelings too. How much of when you have to make a change or when you started to figure out the problem of scale, how much of it is actual data, and then how much of it is just your instincts? And like, has there ever been a time where you've seen the data, but because of the market and you understanding the customer, you followed your instinct, or vice versa? Like your customers were telling you, your instincts were telling you, and the data's telling you something. What do you do with that?
Yeah, this is such a great question, because knowing what I know now, I truly believe that it's a combination of your founder's gut, your instincts, but then you validate it with data.
Okay. The validation process.
Yes. Because I think the beautiful thing about founders is that there's something in your DNA that wires you to know how to solve this problem in a way that no one else can.
Right.
Okay, so that's the beauty that we bring to the market, is our unique solution, right? Now,